How you doing, everybody, and welcome to NinjaToons, where the martial arts meets the creative arts. I'm Michael Voog, the Art Ninja, and today's 2-minute tip is clean up your cleanup. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your share. So, you probably are gonna have that song playing in your head all day now, sorry. But when I was teaching the younger kids, that's something that I always used to talk about, is how to improve your cleanup lines or your inking step. Before we actually get to the inking, we wanna make sure that we have good, accurate cleanup lines. There's no sense in working with marker if we actually can't get it right with our pencil first. So, some tips on how to create better cleanup lines. The first thing is when you're drawing, most artists, they will try to create a straight line by creating sketchy lines like this. And as you can see, the lines have a thickness and a thinness, and it's not really consistent. So what I teach you guys to do is slide your hand across the canvas. Have a nice, clean, consistent line. Now by doing that and sliding your hand across the paper, you can notice how much more uniform that line is and how straight the line is too. So how you can practice better cleanup? Tip number 1, slide your hand across the paper. Now this works also with your C curves. Drag your hand across the paper. And then you can do that with thin lines close together, farther apart, but again, dragging your hand across the paper. Now typically you want to pull your arm, not push it. Now, one of the reasons you don't want to do that is if you have a sharp pencil and the angle of your pencil can dig into the paper and create holes in your paper, but it's not going to create a smooth line. So rather pull. The angle of the pencil is dragging across the paper instead of digging into the paper going this way. Now you can also do that with your S curves. Again, as we talked about with 3 lines you can use to draw anything, you pick those 2 dots and then pull your hand across the paper. Look at that, beautiful. All right, so the last thing, that's tip number 1 is to drag your arm across the paper, your hand across the paper. Tip number 2 is don't push, pull. And tip number 3 is to taper your lines. So what do I mean by that? Taper your lines mean you're gonna start with your first line, and you notice here at the end of the line how it feathers off like hair. Now this builds with your confidence in creating your pencil strokes. But let's say you have a pretty consistent line across. This is one way to taper your line. You're going to start and thicken one end, build it up on one side, and then you're just gonna drag it all the way across your line like this. Now this is helpful for things like eyebrows, if you wanna draw an eyebrow, or like I said, even hair. See what I'm doing there? Now this is really important in cleaning up your drawing because professionals will look at the quality of your line work and they want to see if you actually know what you're doing. So if you have a line that's consistently thick all the way through, it kind of speaks to your experience. So instead, try to build up that line. You can do the same thing when you're pulling the line here like this, pulling it toward you. And what you want to get is a thicker line or a wider line coming down to more of a narrow point. And that's today's 2-minute tip, how to clean up your cleanup. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you strike that like button, and if you're not a subscriber yet, smash that subscribe button, and then let us know in the comments below, what can I help you with? What's some areas you'd like some tips on? Until next time, everybody, remember your ABCs, always be creating, make it a great day, and stay tuned for more videos. Arigato.